Wow. The sun just got so bright. I felt like I had to turn on the camera and just reflect it back. The sun is so bright. Look how bright it is. It's ridiculously, it's like sending out extra light rays. It was bright just a few minutes ago, like a minute ago, and then suddenly it just got super bright, super bright. And the bay is frozen over. The bay. It's very still. Yesterday, there were whitecaps out there, just wild whitecaps. Really, it was blowing like hell out there. And it was so cold, bitter cold. I thought, man, if somebody was on a boat out in that freezing cold wind, on that freezing cold ocean, it would just be, oof. I think right around the corner is called Dead Man's Bluff or something. I shouldn't smile when I say that, but, sailors used to die out there. But, yeah, I need to get my crystal in the sun and reflect all of its magical healing energy to anybody watching this video. Stimulate the DNA. Increase its usage in your body. 12 strands of fully activated, fully operating DNA. What does it mean? What does all that mean, 12 strands of DNA? The two-stranded double helix DNA went from 12 strands to two-stranded. I don't know, but anyways, what I do know is that when you get the light from this crystal, this healing crystal, this magic crystal, it's a benefit. So all you got to do is let the light bounce into your eyes and then just feel the subtle changes in your energy field. Why not? It's protecting me from the vampires. What is it with vampires? Why does everybody love vampires? I feel like the consciousness of vampires, which is possibly mixed, like all things in the universe, because everything has its opposite, that they, let's call them the Draconians from Draco, because Dracula sounds like draconian, and the Draconians are from Draco. Are they reptilians or draconians? I think they're their own thing. But say that the vampires are from that planet, and there's this vampire energy thing going on. Well, I've been thinking that, I've been questioning our obsession with vampires, and the way the TV shows and the movies are demonstrating vampire world is by making it very romanticized and sexy and beautiful and erotic and passionate. So, and I've been in love with a vampire. I mean, an energetic one. I know how powerful vampire energy is. So I've been thinking that, there's a lot of other beings on this planet besides humankind, which is a controlled and manipulated species, created to be like this way, with the head on top and the eyes and the nose and the body and the whole hands and the whole thing. And there are many, many species from other star systems incarnating and manipulating and being with this planet, because she is ever so gorgeous and special and responsive, and has like the perfect blend of everything to create a lot of variety and beauty and magic and all kinds of opposing forces like fire and water. So we've got the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Sirians have been here a long time. The Pleiadians have a long history. Andromedans, I feel like the Andromedans are like, most of us have a lot of Andromedan blood. We look like Andromedan. And Pleiadians and stuff. Nobody looks like a reptilian for some reason. They've gotten squished down into little insects that we can now squish. Although they used to be all over the planet when we had the dinosaurs. That was all reptilian DNA horsing around. That's when those reptilian teenagers were horsing around with the DNA on planet Earth. Or on Key and on Lil, or whoever they were, playing with the dinosaurs. Reptilians, obviously. So, if they found this planet first, which is possible, you know, you can see why they've been fighting for it all this time. It's interesting that in the end, in the last 2,000 years or more, the human has taken over the planet. It's really, you know, we have our reptilian factor with the insects and stuff, and there are, of course, millions more insects than there are humans, but they're so small, and I don't know, who knows how they're affecting the planet, who knows what the consciousness is. Supposedly the reptilians live under the surface of the Earth, and, you know, I actually believe that. That just somehow feels right, that's where they are. They're under the Earth. You know, we're dwelling on the surface of the Earth, and they're living under the Earth. I don't know. I think that the whole planet is taken over in somewhere on it by some faction, some species, all kinds of things are here. I feel like planet Earth is the America of the universe. It's where everybody wants to come and play and be free, because it's in the free will zone, so they say. You know, who knows why there's a zone for free will in the universe as opposed to the entire universe being free. I don't know why. They say that Earth is in the free will zone, somehow on the fringe of a galaxy that's easy to access from other galaxies and other universes, and that's why there's so much variety here and why so many people are here. It's like O'Hare Airport, you know, in the middle of all these things, easy to get to. You always stop in Chicago. It's kind of like that, sort of, or Hawaii maybe. Anyway, so the planet has a lot of intrigue, and many species are here. And the Draconians are one of those species. Now, you know, obviously there's this blood-sucking thing going on. So I'm wondering if these TV shows are partially a way for the media to get into the psyche of us humans and naturalize us to the idea of humans drinking human blood, humans eating humans, humans being eaten. I think that humans are being eaten somewhere in this universe, and they do possibly take our bodies from places where they can easily get them. You know, war grounds in other countries. And poor and poverty-stricken countries would be a great place to collect some bodies, dead bodies, don't you think? I mean, you know, you got tribal things going on. Either who's eating those dead bodies? Are they burying them? Are the animals eating them? Is somebody coming to get them? What about in the Middle East, where there's a portal right there in between Palestine and Israel that they've been fighting over the whole time? Cain and Able, Palestine and Israel, fighting over this portal in the Middle East, plus fighting each other like brothers will do, which is a storyline you also find in the Vampire Diaries and the vampire stories and the Draconians. Because I'm starting to think that this whole universe was actually designed by that which has a split personality. Now, who has a split personality? Well, this is my theory. Say that there was Mother, Father, God, you know, the one being the sound, Om, created, you know, the whole universe maybe is bipolar, is two sides of one thing. But this was the story that I came up with. Mother, Father, God create the sound. They experience them itself as one thing, and then they split in half and they experience themselves as two things that can look at each other and are two sides of something. And then they split again into 4 things and 8 things and 16 things, and they keep on splitting. Well, you know, the sound between them creates the universe, things, ideas, images, light, whatever, some kind of form. They advance to a point where they're actually birthing children in a way. Some of the first-born children, let's just give them names like, I don't know, Lucifer and the Christ. So say that the 2 brothers are spawned. You know, maybe they're twin brothers. You know, they always said that Lucifer was the brightest sun, the lightest and the brightest, and then he went rogue, he went rebellious against his parents. He's been like stuck in 17-year-old boy for a really long time. Or he ran off at during his 17-year-old boy energy and ran away from home and went so far that he ended up creating his own universe. Well, let's just say that, you know, he is the brightest star, and he has a brother, and we'll call him Yahweh or Yeshua. I don't know. It's the Christ consciousness. And, you know, maybe there's a few other siblings in there. Maybe there's a girl, a sister. I don't know, but let's just go with the 2 brothers. There's the 2 brothers. And say that, you know, they fight like right in any old family. You know, mother, father, God. Actually, let's say that during some of their battles with each other, they were also continuously having sex because they were so attracted to each other, mother, father, God. They were pushing away from each other and attracting to each other at the same time, creating incredible energy. And so they went through their own dramas, because who are we to think that we're the only ones allowed to go through dramas? We're designed in the image, so they go through dramas because, you know. And during one of their, you know, dramas, they conceived of their son, Lucifer, who took on their dramas when he was born. You know, when he was conceived, because the mother and the father were having sex. They have sex constantly. And every time she orgasms, another star system is created. She was always orgasming the mother, the great mother. And then whoosh, these new star systems would get created with every orgasm, because their orgasms were so amazing. And they were always having sex and orgasms because they didn't have any shame with it back then. Of course, all it was, you know, developing, because every time she had an orgasm from sex, some new part of the universe was created that they then had to deal with, manage, study, and regenerate, redirect in whatever the way they wanted, or to observe, enjoy, whatever. So Lucifer is born, you know, the brightest star. He's so beautiful. He's so handsome. He's incredible. He's incredible. He's fabulous. He is just absolutely great, and everybody loves him because he's the brightest light. He's so attractive. He's so appealing. He's absolutely, you know, he makes you smile to see him. And then there's the Christ consciousness, who is the heart. And I'll say that Lucifer is a little bit more, you know, brainy, and the Christ is a little more lovey-dovey. It's like the 2 brothers. One's a little bit more on the smarter side, and the other one's really the sweetheart. So Lucifer is so freaking smart, and maybe he's got a little bit of ego going on, because the father has his ego, you know, mother, father, God, the mother, father, God, the Godhead. Maybe he had ego that he was repressing. Maybe he sensed a kind of a power-hungry, controlling feeling inside of himself that he didn't like, so he pushed it outside of himself, and it went into his son. Maybe it was his firstborn son. It was either Christ, or maybe they were twins. Maybe the Christ and Lucifer were born at the same time, and they're twins. You know, anything's possible. It's just like fun to consider ideas. So, you know, say that they're fighting, and the brothers, you know how brothers will love to fight. All brothers love to wrestle or whatever. Sometimes they're tight, and sometimes they fight. So they're family. Anyway, Lucifer gets, you know, too big for his britches, and he rebels, and he wants control, and he wants to jump into the father's seat, and the father doesn't want him to. They fight, And then maybe Lucifer was pissed, and he was exposing to his parents other sides of themselves that maybe they didn't like so much. He was so bright, but yet he was being kind of a dick and rebelling. And what was this rebellious son about? Why isn't he just loving us and being obedient to our ideas and helping us build and create? No, he wants to be the creator himself. He wants to go out on his own. He fights with them. In between being absolutely dazzling to watch, because he's fun and he's beautiful. He's got a beautiful smile and these beautiful eyes, and he's incredible. So, but he's got two sides, like the universe does. So, say they fight, horrible fight, something happens, he's mean to the mother, she is pissed, and he says he's going to go out on his own, and they're fighting, and then she is so upset with something that he says to her, or something that he does, or a series of things, or a lot of things, or too many things, or he pushes her to the edge, I don't know, but she ends up bursting out with quite the angry, furious curse. Let's say it turns into her angry words from her rage and her hurt that he is being so mean to her, his mother. She created him, and he is abusing her somehow. And in her rage, because she's got rage from other stuff, from her relationship with the father, that he embraces, that he holds, that he carries with him and is expressing to them. He's all, as he grows and develops, he discovers he's all, So he's exposing this part of the family to the family. We always have the bad one who exposes what's wrong with the family. So that's what he's doing. So she curses him. She curses him maybe really extremely because it becomes a curse. Because the rage between all of them is just so great. The mother, the father, and Lucifer, they're most loved, absolutely worshipped and adored firstborn son who is now giving them crap. And they are pissed and hurt and pissed. So this spell comes out of rage and anger and hurt and fear, and those emotions go into him from the Godhead, from his parents, and then triggering his own inner stuff because he was birthed during a point between the mother and the father where they were in conflict, so he inherited it. All right, so he runs away. He goes so far away from them. He goes away from the Godhead, and he flies and flies and flies and flies and travels and travels and travels, and there's a lot of universe there because up until this point they've been creating all kinds of stuff. Believe me, the mother's had many orgasms. There's many star systems and things to navigate and explore. And he keeps going further and further away. He wants to be God himself. He wants to control his own universe. He doesn't want to be obedient. He wants to be obeyed, and he's feeling all of this. So he flies further and further away from the Godhead. He's got to go pretty far out. And they're hurt, and he's angry, and she's angry, and they're all upset. Everyone's upset because the brightest star has flown away from the universe as they know it. He goes so far away, he ends up going out into the middle of where there really is nothing yet. Pure darkness and nothing, because that's how far away he goes in his rage and his anger. When he gets out there, he is so bright. He is so bright that he is able to create his own universe. He's got incredible, first of all, he's got the creator energy, the creator God energy, because he is a creator God, because everything that, all the consciousnesses, all the sons and daughters of the mother, father, God, of the Godhead are creator God. So he realizes he can create his own universe. So he starts creating his own universe, He needs his own mother. He needs his own wife. He needs his own lover. He likes sex just as much as his parents do. So does the Christ consciousness. Everybody loves love. Everyone loves to the point of explosion. And then, everybody wants that, because it's exciting. It's something to do. And it feels good. So he wants that too. So he creates. And he creates his own universe and his own galaxies and his own, because he is a creator. He has the power. And this earth is in that universe. This is all his universe. So just say that it was. Just say that it was. And that explains the duality, and also it explains the rebellious nature inside us if he is actually our father. He is our father. Now, our grandfather is the Godhead. Our grandparents are the Mother, Father, God. But like our Father, our creator, away from the Godhead, is Lucifer. And that's why we all have inner torment. That's why we are fighting with the good and bad sides of ourselves, because we are part of Lucifer's universe, and that's what he does. He fights with himself. Now, maybe the Christ consciousness entered into this universe in an attempt to save Lucifer, to bring him home, to appeal to his sense of family, you know? And you see these themes running all over these vampire shows. And the vampires are so much like Lucifer. That story in The Vampire Diaries with Damon and Stefan, you know, that is the Cain and Able story. And told through vampire eyes. And the Cain and Able story is told everywhere. It's all over this planet. It's all over this universe. The Cain and Able story, the brothers fighting. You know, they probably fought too. I'm sure that the Christ was like, come on, bro. Don't run away. Let's be a family. Let's love each other. Let's forgive it. Let's make up. Let's kiss and make up. Let's go have a couple of brewskis together, buddy. You know, and then crazy egomaniac Lucifer, who bipolar and went into a state of whatever, his crazy self, ran off, ditched the family, said, screw you guys, I'm making my own universe, I'm doing it myself, I'm going to run away from home, you know, and so that energy is in all of us. We all have some of that energy in some of us are full on, being mean and running away from my parents and going to go harass society and be a criminal, and some of us just have a little teeny bit of that flooded with guilt. I mean, we have so much negative emotion attached to all our positive emotions, and sometimes we don't feel loving at all. You know, supposedly the universe is made of love. We keep hearing that. It's like, from the perspective of a human being on planet Earth 3D, it is very hard to feel that sometimes. You know, I have love in my heart, but it's like the whole universe is made of love. I get confused with that statement, because what about the pain and misery that's here? You know, how is that made of love? Is it made of love? Is the dark side made of love as well as the light side? Or does the dark side exist in craving the light? And if everything's lit, then there's no contrast, there's no beauty, there's no intrigue, there's no drama. So anyways, you know, through all of the research and studying about the universe and the different philosophies and all the stuff that's on the internet about aliens and ETs and the planet and the Anunnaki and the history and everything that I've been studying a lot, it has come to my possible conclusion that this is Lucifer's universe and we are in it. And that's why we don't understand God, and that's why we don't understand spirituality, and that's why we're all controlled, and he's just fucking with us all the time. When maybe we came down here to see if we could play Lucifer's game. Maybe we were drawn to Lucifer. Maybe we were part of the Lucifer team. You know, he was a good guy at one point. He's just conflicted. You know, he's misunderstood, as my son would say. My son feels that that the devil or the rat is misunderstood. And I thought, when I heard him say that that was a very wise and profound understanding for him to have. That the enemy or the bad guy is actually misunderstood. I think he's right. I think he understands stuff. What the heck was that? So the sun is going down, and I kind of, not down. See, look how low it is in the sky. I guess maybe it's going higher, and I can't get the same light. But that's my Lucifer story. That's my story that I've actually been thinking about telling as an idea for us to consider. I can't really get good lighting here now. Anyway, guys, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you, okay? I really do. And thank you so much for watching my video, and I will talk with you soon. Big kiss.